I'm sure you've heard it said that questions are the currency of the future. Indeed, I have said as much myself, and it makes absolute sense. However, when you find yourself in a situation where many things are in a state of flux and there are lots of moving parts, such as is the case in Nigeria, my home country, where we've just onboarded a new administration, then questions actually become your currency of today, because you want to make sure that you have the right sets of responses, that you are agile and adaptive and not reactionary when it comes to the business that you run and its potential to impact you, your people, your industry, and the nation. So today I want to speak about some of the questions that entrepreneurs need to be asking ourselves so that we're able to navigate potential challenges as well as mind the opportunities that come from the place of a new administration coming in to govern our land. First of all is to ask yourself this: what are the administration's key priorities and policies? What's their agenda? Are there any proposed policy changes? And if yes, how might these affect my industry first, and then of course my business? Ask yourself, what is the administration's stance on regulation? Are there any new or proposed regulatory changes that I can see that could potentially impact on my industry and business? And if there's none so far, still pay attention, because I promise you there will be many moving parts, many adjustments and adaptations. Ask yourself, are there any significant shifts in government spending that could potentially affect my industry and my business? Where is this government focused, and how does this impact me? Ask yourself, are there potential tax changes that could then impact on my business operations, on the financials of my company? For instance, it is out there that there is potentially an increase coming on value-added tax. What does this mean? What are the opportunities? Is there going to be an increase in the tax allowance bracket for smaller businesses, for instance? We need to know. Pay attention to the sound bites and the direction of communication that is coming from the government. What new opportunities or what kind of funding programs might arise under this new administration? There's a lot of information out there that the international investing world is very interested in Nigeria because they like what they're seeing. How might this play out? You have to follow this conversation actively because it has implications. Again, always the industry first, but more directly for your business. What are the administration's plans for supporting entrepreneurship, small businesses and startups? Have you heard anything? Have you seen anything? Are you going to be paying attention so that you know how you take position? Are there any new funding or grant programs that might be available for entrepreneurs who are operating now with this new administration? What is the administration saying about job creation? What is the administration doing about taxation and incentives for businesses, for instance? We have to be paying attention to the conversation. What are the administration's plans when it comes to the promotion of innovation and technological advancements and adaptations in your industry, in the economy, broadly speaking? If you have global operations or supply chains, then you also need to be asking, how does the new administration plan to foster international trade and global business opportunities? What kind of changes might you be expecting to see, and how might that then filter down to your business? Are there any potential risks or opportunities that are associated with this new administration coming in, and how do you prepare for those? How do you position your business to align with the administration's goals and initiatives and targets for the broader economy, or maybe more specifically for your industry? Questions to ask. How can you as an entrepreneur engage with the new administration so that you can provide feedback, so you can voice your concerns, so that you can propose even ideas for policy improvement? What kinds of platforms are available to ensure that the voice of your business is heard? What channels is this new government creating to be able to engage with, people who are in the business world? What kind of stakeholder platforms are out there? You need to know so that you can align and take the opportunity. These are very difficult times for the country, and a lot of hard decisions need to be made by the new government, and a lot of adjustments need to be made by the people, all of us inclusive of our businesses. And what this means is that There is a need for a high level of agility and adaptability, as I said earlier, as we work together in concert to reposition this country. Change always comes with twins. There is a difficulty and the opportunity, and this ability to adapt is going to be critical for those of us who are entrepreneurs. We can't afford to be too reactionary, even as the economy is going through its rebalancing. So there is room for that general conversation and sharing of ideas and opinions as we do broadly. But as entrepreneurs, there is a much deeper level of engagement, of research, of insights, of knowledge and counsel that we really require to ensure that we mine the value that is in this season and that we hedge against the risks that are also in this season. And a big part of this is going to be hinged on our understanding of the times and the tides, and then aligning as early as possible to both the evolving challenges and opportunities. So the answer is not just going to lay in letting people go first. Let me say this, because I think that a lot of business people are going to do that as the first line of response to all that is going on. Please don't be that person if you can help it. It is actually time for you to pull out your Potter's 5 forces or the P-Pestle or whatever strategic review models that you use and apply some rigor into thinking through where we are as a nation, as the economy, where your industry is before you begin to act, or should I say react. Our nation is counting on us as entrepreneurs. They are counting on our thrive. We are such a huge part of the wheel of this nation that we call Nigeria. Our contributions to the GDP of the country are immense, and therefore our contributions to the well-being of the nation and the people are immense. So as the new administration has come in, let's not spend too much time just complaining and pushing back at every policy. Let's do some detailed and rigorous analysis and position ourselves to be part of the change makers that the economy needs us to be. And yes, I promise you, after running a company in this country for 29 years, I know it's not easy, but we still come to the table with our A game and with our commitment to be part of transforming the narrative of Nigeria. I hope this has been useful. And if there are other questions that you think entrepreneurs need to be thinking through as this new administration begins to come into its own, please drop a line, share it in the comments so that we can all learn from you. My email, if you want to reach out to me, is audrey@audreyjoeezigbo.com. Take care.